Alright, hello again everybody. This is Mr. Everything. I'm coming at you with another State of the Unit address. This one's for June. This is going to let you know what's going on with the unit. Also, it's going to let you know what's going on with me as well as your unit commander, and what's the status of the website and all the good stuff. This basically just is a newsletter to keep you informed, letting you know how come I not taking off. There we go. Just letting you know what the heck's going on. All right, so now we got a few things to talk about. Let's talk about membership first, right? Membership is everyone's responsibility. It's not just my responsibility. It's not just the recruiting officer's responsibility. It's everyone's responsibility in the organization to spread the word. How do you spread the word? Well, that's a big rock right there. You can put it out on your Facebook. You can put it out on Twitter. You can put it out in the forums, get in other people's forums, in your forums, make comments, tell your friends at work, tell your friends wherever you play, whatever your hobbies are. If they're interested in Star Citizen, don't forget to introduce our squadron here. Don't leave us hanging. Okay, what that'll do for you is people that know you, that are your friends, that are inside Star Citizen will, if they join the squadron, then you will be able to share adventures and missions with your friends, your close friends. Not that everyone else in the squadron is not also your friends, but you probably don't know me from Adam, you know. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, if somebody asks you a question, maybe you're playing, maybe you're playing PUBG or something, PUBG, Player Unknown, whatever you're playing some StarCraft, you're playing some WoW, whatever you're playing. If somebody mentions, like, hey, I'm really excited about Star Citizen, can you tell me a little bit about it? Your answer should be yes, and inside that conversation you have, mention the squadron. Let them know. You don't have to be, you don't have to be rude or obnoxious. Just say something like, yeah, I love Star Citizen. I've got a squadron, a bunch of good guys. We are looking forward to this upcoming patch 3.0. We're going to do this. If you're interested, you should check us out. And then leave it at that. If they're interested, they'll let you know. If they're not interested, then that's okay. At least you put it out there. And this is a saying that we have at work, and I pretty much always have adopted the same saying. I've never really quantified it, but the saying is, give your customer, or your friend, but the saying is, give your customer the opportunity to tell you no. Don't make that decision for them. If what they're telling me is, tell them about that new router we got. If they don't need a router, they'll tell me they don't need a router. But if I don't tell them about this router, just using this as an example, and they don't know about it, then I just made the decision that they're not going to buy that router. Not them. I did that. So what I'm saying is, make sure your friends and family know about the squadron. Let them make a decision to join or not to join. Don't make that decision for them. All right. So, having said that, I'm going to ask you guys, and you can think of this on your own. You don't have to put it in the comments or anything, but just think about this. How many times in the last 1 month, April, May, in just May, how many times did you mention the squadron to a friend, to a stranger, to a coworker, to a co-student, a fellow student? What am I going through some rubble or something? It looks like I am. Let me get out of this. I'm hearing bumping. I'm bumping in all kinds of stuff. I'm just going to stop right here. And I'm going to get out. How many times over the course of the whole month of May did you mention it to a friend, mention that we have a squadron, mention anything about Star Citizen, mention the organization, anything at all. If you were to ask me that question, how many times did I mention Star Citizen? Well, first of all, I've done a few live streams. You could do live streams, but I've done live streams. We'll count those. I'll say 4. At work, how many times have I said it at work? Probably about 20 or more times to different people. Saying it to the same person over and over and over is kind of like harassing them. No, these are different people that I've kind of like, hey, have you ever heard of Star Citizen? No. Well, let me tell you about it. If you're interested in an organization, this is what you should check out. Check us out. We're always looking for new people. You like first-person shooters? Cool. Let me show you Star Citizen. You like flight sims? Let me show you Star Citizen. You know, it was... I probably did that at least 20 times at work. Just work. I play a game store. I play D&D at the game store. I play probably once a week, pretty close to once a week. I'm going to say 4 times that I mentioned it. Nah, I'm not even going to say that. I'm going to say 3 times at this game store. So what are we up to? 27 times I've mentioned it in a month? Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Just under 30 times. How many times have you mentioned it? Are you as excited about Star Citizen as I am? Are you? And not just Star Citizen, because I think everybody's excited about Star Citizen that's watching this video. But how excited are you to get people to join our squadron? Do you want the squadron to only be 4 people? Would you rather it be smaller? Do you want there to be nobody logged on to the squadron when you're on? Or do you want someone to be on 24/7 so that when we do log on, we always have someone to team with? Or if we have something, there we go. Or if we have something that needs protecting, okay, that's cool. That's just plain old cool right there. Do you have something protecting? Do we want to have somebody on protecting that something all the time? Or do we want people to be logged off so that someone else could take our something? Like if we establish a moon base or something, or we can always have somebody available to defend it. If you want these things, we have to have more people. It's just, we have to do it. We just can't sit on our laurels saying, okay, here's an argument that I have heard in some older groups that I used to be a part of, even in Star Citizen. They're no longer with us, but they would say things like, I don't think we need to recruit because the game's not live yet. What? What are you saying? That's retarded. You have to recruit before the game goes live. Well, you don't have to. You can wait. But the reason why you recruit before the game goes live is that we can have a sizable group of guys in our organization the minute the game goes live. So when the game goes live, we've got a bunch of people. If I go in there, you get electrocuted. What just went floating by me? Felt like something just floated past me. I'm like turning my head like that's going to have any impact. Okay. I've already been in the ship, just exploring, checking it out. Seeing, like, that lightning wasn't in there last time. Or at least not like it is now. I'm liking the changes in the lighting. They've done a good job. Now I can actually see where I'm going. That's kind of important. Before it was like too dark. Okay, but either way, you want to recruit before the game goes live, not after the game goes live. You can't rely on just one person recruiting. Why? First of all, we all have different personalities. We all do. We're not all mirror copies of each other, right? We're not clones. So I might talk to some people that I know, that I think would like this game, but it might not be the same kind of people that you would talk to. Same thing with forums. I might frequent a certain type of a forum that you might not frequent. Or you might frequent a forum that I don't frequent. Like Reddit. Let's use that as an example. You might go on Reddit every day. I go on Reddit maybe once a month. Or when I want something. You know? If I want to learn something or if I want to put something out, I'll go to Reddit. I don't usually go to Reddit just to see what other people have to say. I used to, but that was when I used to do that, but that was when I was locked behind a computer desk and I couldn't go anywhere at my last job. I was sitting behind a computer desk all day long and I couldn't go anywhere, so I took it upon myself to use Reddit to kind of keep myself in touch with the community and stuff like that. If that's your situation, that's great for the unit. That means you're able to put stuff out on the Reddit, and I'm not. So what does that mean? We're hitting multiple different types of people. You're hitting Redditors. I'm not. You're hitting Facebookers. I'm not. I'm hitting YouTubers. Maybe you're not. You know, maybe you're on Twitch. Maybe I'm not. You know, that kind of stuff. So it puts the word out in a variety of different places. So what I'm saying is that a scope? What is that? Yeah, it kind of looks like a scope. Okay. I'd love to put a scope on my AR, or at least a reflex sight. Yeah. So okay. So I don't want to hash on that too much, but I do, because that's the most important thing right now. While there's nothing really going on with Star Citizen, we should really be pushing the recruiting when there's not anything going on. Because when there's stuff going on, that's going to be pulling us away from our recruiting time. We're going to have less time to do the recruiting. Okay, so guys, please do some recruiting. If you notice on the right above me, I've got the State of the Unit address, agenda, show notes, whatever you want to call them. And you can see right there, membership, no changes in May. If you go back and look at our May State of the Unit, it said no changes in April. We've had no changes, good or bad, pluses or minuses, in April or May. Everything's been status quo. With 18 members on RSI, that's really not good enough, guys. We got to okay, something's up. There's a flashing green one. We got to make this a mission. We got to get out there and start asking people, or you don't have to ask, but at least tell them. Let them make the decision. Don't make it for them. All right, past events. Have we had any Squadron community events? Not really. We haven't had any kind of organized activity like training or get-togethers or anything in May. We didn't do that. Like Parasite and I, we've gotten together a couple of times on the live stream, and we've tooled around in the universe and stuff like that. But nothing significant. Now I am streaming or playing at least once or twice a week. Okay, so I will get on. I'll jump on like I'm doing right now for you guys. I got on here for you guys, just so you'll have something to look at while you're listening to me rant. Um, that's a beautiful scene right there. There's a lot of screenshots that I took while I was floating in the asteroids, mainly just because I wanted some what do they call them? Screensavers or what do they call them? Wallpapers on my computer. I've got a bunch of Star Citizen wallpapers that I created myself just by going out, putting the weapons away. You know, maybe going. There you go, something like that, where you got nothing on the screen except for what you're taking a picture of. You know what I mean? Okay, so okay. Having said that, past events, not really any. Now I am jumping on War Thunder, but more often than Star Citizen, and you're probably the same way. The reason why you're not probably jumping on Star Citizen right now is because there's really nothing to do. Everything is exactly the same as it has been for the last 6 months, right? You've got the same old missions, the same old maps, the same old, everything's the same old, right? And we're all sitting here waiting for 3.0. Oh man, when 3.0 drops, it's going to be outstanding. Guess what? No, it's not. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not. You're going to get 3.0 and you're going to be disappointed. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's not what's basically. This is only one step towards the ultimate goal. It's not the ultimate goal. It's not 3.0 comes out, everything's, don't worry about the rest of the world. No, it's 3.0 comes out, but we still need 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, all the way up to 4.0. When 4.0 comes out, that's going to be, in my opinion, that's going to be the start of things to come. Because then we'll be able to go from planetary system to another planetary system. In 3.0, we are, okay, in 3.0, we have still the same old Crusader, the same old moon, same old asteroids. Now we might have one additional planet. Okay, that's going to be Levski. And there will be a landing zone on Levski, so we can actually land on that planet. We'll be able to get into our buggies or our dragonflies or what have you. We'll be able to fly or drive around the planet. Okay, don't get me wrong. That's a major hurdle. That's super exciting. But if there's nothing to see, it's not that big of a deal. You're going to drive around 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times, looking at all the rocks and everything. After a week or 2, you will have seen the same things over and over and over. That's my anticipation. If they prove me wrong, then I'll be stoked. I'll fly over to 4 moons, or 3 moons and that planet. So 4 things I can land on. But let's say 3 moons. I'll land on those. I'll drive around. I'll check out the geysers. I'll check out the trenches. I'll check out some other things. Maybe some caves, whatever they've got. After a month, I'll have seen it all. There's going to be 2 mission givers. They can give you missions based on your reputation. And they might have a dozen missions, kind of like Tessa. After a month, I will have gone on all of those missions. So what I'm saying is 3.0 is going to come out. It's about a month's worth of content before we're back in the same boat. We've done everything. We've seen everything. Everything's everything, right? But the Delta patch will be out in 3.0, supposedly. Maybe not 3.0, maybe 3.1, but we're somewhere in there. The Delta patcher is coming. So with the Delta patcher coming out, they can add content weekly or daily, even hourly, whatever. They could, you log out, you log back in, downloads like a 2 meg pack, maybe a 5 gig pack, goes super quick. So these patches will be like fast, boom, boom, boom. They're going to be faster patches. They're going to, and just, you're not going to be sitting there going, okay, I started my patch. I got to wait for 2 hours before I can do anything. That's all in the past. That's all in the past. From now on, they're going to be super quick. And the reason why is because they're not patching the entire game every patch. They're only patching what's changed. So if a rock is a rock is a rock is a rock, it's not going to get patched. But if that rock goes from white to blue, that's what patches. So just the color, or if it moves. If they decide they don't like this rock here, they want this rock over here, the only thing that's changed is where that rock is. That's going to be a super quick patch. So you don't have to download the entire game every time you patch. So what that means is it's cheaper for CIG, for one thing. It's less of a hassle for you, and probably cheaper, especially if you're throttled, if your internet is, if you're limited on your internet, then I could see where that would be a pain in the ass. But because they're going to Delta patching, it's going to save them money. They can patch just what's changed and not the whole game every time. So it'll be faster patches, which means when they come out with a new ship, right? We don't have to wait till the next major patch. It will come out in the very next patch within a week. They'll finish something, they'll patch it. I mean, we might even, I don't know this for a fact. There's a lot of companies out there that, okay, I was saying, I know this for a fact. There is a lot of companies out there that patch weekly, and they specifically have a day that they patch. They say Tuesday is the day we're going to patch. And then why do they pick Tuesday? Well, usually they'll work on something from Monday to Friday. They'll test it Saturday and Sunday. Then they'll compile it on Monday. And while they're compiling it on Monday, they're already working on the next patch. Because the guys that are compiling it are not the guys working on the next patch. So the Monday through Friday guys are the developers. The Saturday and Sunday guys are the testers. And then the Monday guys are the guys compiling it and putting it into the patcher. So when it comes to Tuesday, you're downloading a patch that was finished Friday. Okay? But you're getting a patch every Tuesday. And that's just one company's way of doing things. I think that was Piranha Games. That's the way they were doing theirs. And that seemed logical, it seemed smart, it seemed quick, like we got patches every week. Okay, that was really cool.
Systems green.
And were those patches major? No. Sometimes a patch was like, yeah, we just changed the cockpit from green to red. Or we just changed that SCM is now, instead of an Arial font, it's in stencil or something. These patches were like super small, but they didn't have to wait 4 months while they built up this major amount of quantity of patching material to give it to us. CIG is currently doing that because they don't have a Delta patcher. Because they have to patch the entire game, they wait till they fix or update or change a major portion of the game. And I understand that. It's money. I get it. But I'm just going to be super excited to get that Delta patcher. And I know you will too. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go try playing around with something else. Let's just get out of the asteroid for one thing. Maybe we can go, I was going to say maybe we could fly over to Grim Hex, but I don't know. Okay, so enough of that BS. Now, upcoming activity. I'm working on a beta boot camp. How often do I work on it? Not very often. Believe you me. Maybe I spend 1 or 2 hours a month working on it. So I'm not putting a huge amount of effort into it, but I am thinking about it. It is in the back of my mind, and I'm always crunching numbers, trying to figure out, like, even though I'm not actually putting it to paper or putting it on the screen, it's always up here, and I am trying to devise the best ways to do our boot camp. You know, we got a new player. A new player joins the squadron. What does he need to know? And he might already know it all. Don't get me wrong. He might be a veteran. He might have been here since day one. He might know more than I do. But that's not the point. The point is, we want to tell him how we want it done. So we don't want somebody to come in saying, and this is I'm gonna rephrase this, but I don't want somebody coming into the squadron always strafing right when our squadron, when we engage into a fight, always strafe left. That's not an actual thing. Okay, but so we'll get into a fight. Everybody from the squadron that has been through the boot camp strafes left, and he just strafes right. It doesn't mean it's wrong, because he's been doing that and it's been working for him, but he's not doing what we want him to do, if that makes sense. I mean, that was a bad example. Don't get me wrong. But I didn't want to bust anybody. Okay, I think I'm locked up. I have locked up. Nothing's going on my screen. It has stopped. Yikes. Okay, I'll restart it. I'll jump into War Thunder. I'll jump into some War Thunder for you guys. Okay, so the Star Citizen servers were updating. I figured while that was happening, I'd just go ahead and jump into some War Thunder for you guys. If you see any pop-ups on the screen, it's because people are on and they're going to try to chat with me, and I'm going to try to ignore them. I don't mean to be mean that way. It's just that I'm in the middle of my broadcast here. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into a tank assault. Now, while we're doing this, let's get back to that. So in the boot camp, I'm going to come up with some, and they're going to be easy, guys. It's not like it's going to be strenuous. It's just going to be like, hey, Joe, you're new to the squadron. When we get into a fight, we strafe left. You strafe right? Okay, just remember, we're strafing left. So if you strafe left with us, you know, blah, 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 and then we'll test him. So there'll be a little bit of a teaching, which is really just telling, you know, hey, this is the way we do it. And showing how he does it. You know, hey, this is how you do it if you don't know how to do it. And then let's get into a match, and let's put it to the test. And then we put it to the test, and then boom, you pass, and you get a certificate, and then we move on. And there'll be like 10 of these certificates to pass the basic boot camp. It's super easy, guys. It's not like it's going to be super strenuous. Now, there is going to be an advanced training portion, and that advanced training is going to be for individual job roles. So like if you want to be an engineer, you need to learn these. If you want to be a pilot, you need to learn these. If you want to be a gunner, you need to learn these. If you want to be a first-person shooter, space marine, you have to learn these. That kind. You want to be a rescue guy, you want to be a medic, you want to be whatever. We're gonna break it down to job roles as well, and that's advanced training. That's not even boot camp. But some of you that have been with us since the beginning know that when the game goes to beta, which is probably 4.0 actually, when the game goes to beta, we're going to start the beta boot camp. And then when the game goes live, hear what I'm about to say. This is important. When the game goes live, and that's whenever Chris says, hey, the game's live. When the game goes live, people will have like a month to pass their beta boot camp. If they fail, they're out. There's no exceptions. We don't want any scrubs in the unit. Up until then, there has not been any training, there hasn't been any updates, there hasn't been anything like that. When beta comes out, we're going to have a beta boot camp, and that beta boot camp is not the real boot camp, but it will carry over all those classes that you succeeded and passed in will carry over to the full regular boot camp. Okay, so yeah, so the boot camps aren't really going to start anytime soon. The classes already have started, but I'm not considering that part of the boot camp. And the boot camp's only, it's like a pre-boot camp is what it is right now. It's like a boot camp to get some classes in before the actual boot camp takes place. So, okay, that's enough about boot camp. We will have it. You will have to pass it within 30 days of the game actually going live, or 30 days of a new member joining the squadron. That's a prerequisite to staying in the squadron. It also gives us kind of, well, actually that's going to fluctuate, because at some point I said 90 days, at some point I said 30 days, so that's not final, but there will be a trial period for you to try us and us to try you, and then we will make the final call after the 30-90 days, and you will have to have had finished the boot camp. If not, you're gone, and no ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah, I think it serves him right. Let's go fly over there and see what we can't do about maybe my stabilizer's on. Okay, so that's enough about boot camp. Now, upcoming activities, that was it. And the news from the Verge 3.0 production schedule is out. You can check it on their website. You can see what progress they're making. They are pushing a couple of things back to make it, because they needed a little extra time to fix a couple of certain things. Once they get that fixed, it's going to be up. We should have it in our hands by July 14th. I fully anticipate having it well before then, because I normally am a PTU tester. So what that means is I usually get it about 2 weeks early. So I'm anticipating late June 31st or so is when I expect to get it. That's this month, guys. I'm going to be in 3.0 this month. It'll be a month from now, but you know, this month. Okay, and if any of you are in the PTU and you want to tell us about your experiences in the PTU, please do. I think that'll be super cool, because it's going to be a lot of fresh material. Crap. He died before I even got there. Wow. Wow. It's like I hit him and it goes, oh, damaged. They hit me and I go, kabloom! Kaplooey! Okay, now our website. Speaking of Engine, right? Engine has been our website, and 1nes.engine.com. It's expired. It has expired. So what does that really mean to us? Well, that means he's dead. No, it means that normally we have to pay for the website. And if we don't pay, then what happens is little advertisements and stuff like that appear on our screen. If we don't mind advertisements, that's okay. But the problem with that is when you have a non-premium account, they disable certain types of things that are allowed on the website. You have to actually be a paying account to do certain things like HTML and some of our forums and things like that. Well, actually, the forums I'm not too worried about. Really? That dude got me from way over there? I'm just going to sit here and blow up. Okay, there we go. I think these guys are a little bit too accurate. Yeah, these guys are way too accurate. All right, so, okay, next, yeah, we're talking about the engine expired. So I've been looking at other website services that we might be able to use, and one of them is Wix, because I hear a lot of good things about Wix. So I went to Wix and I started setting up a Wix account there, and it seems to be a little more clunky. Once I got it set up, I'm sure it would be great. It's just getting that initial setup. It's a little clunky. So I'm going to have to work on that a little bit before I start showing it off to the rest of the squadron, right? Did I shoot over his head? Oh my gosh. Hello, I'm taking your attention. Yeah, he suffered a defeat. Okay, so I've been trying Wix. Now, when 3.0 goes live, we're going to make some needed changes in the squadron, on the website, on the unit itself. We're going to make some deletions, some adjustments, some switches, some changes. If you're not staying abreast with what's going on, then you're going to be lost. And so don't be in a vacuum, okay? Don't be in a vacuum. Don't be out there lone wolfing it, okay? Get into our Discord, our chats, log in with us on the unit, things like that, and participate is what I'm asking for. All right, promotions and awards. There hasn't been any promotions and awards. There hasn't been a need to promote anybody or award anybody with anything because we haven't done anything. Okay, so guys, when 3.0 happens, there's going to be a lot of different types of missions, and we're going to be able to do quite a bit of stuff, and I can foresee maybe more recruiting going on. Get in there, get into the game and recruit on the website, recruit on forums, recruit everywhere. And then if we get some more people, then there can be some promotions, because I'm a proponent for the 1 leader per 5 members, not 1 leader for 1 member. No, everybody's not going to be a leader. Okay, too many chiefs, not enough Indians, that kind of stuff. Not going to have that. 1 to 5 is a ratio. Okay, and then housekeeping. If you're a member of the squadron, this is the final note, and this is kind of has already been touched on in every video. I leave it. I don't change it. It's in every video. Log into the game. Play with the rest of the team. If you don't, I don't know what's happened to you. I don't know where you've been, what you've been doing if you don't join us. Right? And that's okay. I mean, what if you can't? That's okay. So what I do is, because I don't know this, I put you in our inactive reserve after a couple of months usually. If you go into the inactive reserve and you stay in the inactive reserve for, I don't know, 6 months, I consider you have quit the squadron. So just letting you know. All right, so thanks for coming out and checking out this video. This map looks pretty cool, right? The weather and all that. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this mission, and I'll see you next time.